Hello guys, Flamingo here, fresh off the Guild Wars 2 live stream where ArenaNet have released a ton of new information about the upcoming expansion End of Dragons. So in this video, I'm going to give you a run through of everything that was announced, everything you need to know. There was a load of stuff, so I'm going to have to whiz through some of it, but I will do some videos in a bit more detail afterwards as and when they release more information. So just to summarise, I mean, we've got loads of new information. We've got a new trailer, we've got new legendary weapons, we've got a new mount, we've got new mastery tracks, we've got fishing, we've got a new guild hall, we've got a brand new elite spec. We've had actually an in-depth look at that new spec for the Mesmer, as well as some hints towards some of the other ones. Information regarding beta weekends, we've got a release date confirmation, details regarding the pre-purchase. There's so much stuff to get into, and we'll be going through that very shortly. I just wanted to let you guys know that you can actually pre-purchase the game now on the Guild Wars website. I have a link in the description of this video, and if you buy through there, it helps support the channel. So if you could do that and pre-purchase the game if you want to, that would be fantastic. So before we go into all the detail, first thing I want to do is have a look at the newly released trailer.
There's familiarity in this strangeness. Like a song half remembered, a tune without words to carry it. I know you, and yet I don't.
You will soon, little one.
Who are you talking to?
Just an echo in the mist. A possibility.
Look around us. Your children would be trapped in the past, if not for me. Their worlds are carved from the jade that I gave purpose. I promised them a future. A century of progress cannot end this way. I'm not... CANTHA's not just a spoke in some grand cosmic wheel.
Would a great innovator give up so easily on that promised future?
I won't. I'll find a way to save us all. The future is out there. What are we waiting for?
Okay, so that is the brand new trailer for End of Dragons, and it looked pretty cool. I don't think it gave away loads and loads about the story. They did speak about it in a little bit more detail. Obviously, they don't want to give away all of the secrets yet, but they said it's going to be quite centered around Aurene. She's going to be a big part of this story. Obviously, there's some sort of communication between her and another being, which we assume is a dragon, whether it's the water elder dragon or something like that. So normally the trailer so far have consisted between Aurene, this other one that we assume is probably the water dragon, and then Kunavang as well, which is another lesser dragon which was featured in the Guild Wars Factions campaign. And obviously a big thing they were talking about was the setting, which is CANTHA, and you can see from that trailer how beautiful it looks. I mean, CANTHA looked great even in Factions, which is about 15 years old now. That's one of the expansions for the original Guild Wars, for those that don't know, and that's when we first visited CANTHA. So we're going back there again for the End of Dragons expansion. You can tell that the devs that were talking about it, they're really excited about building this place. They said they're being very ambitious with the maps, that the replayability of the maps is really important. They said they want some of the verticality of the Heart of Thorns maps, but with some of the the advanced sort of exploration of the Path of Fire maps. So they seem to think that, you know, they've learned quite a lot, and they really want to do that with this. They want to integrate that into the story. They mentioned a couple of characters, and we saw some of the characters that will still be involved. You know, returning characters like Marjorie, Casimir, Timey appears to be coming back as well. So I think we're going to see a lot of those same characters, which we want. But they seem to be bringing in quite a few new characters. As the live stream went on, they kept just randomly introducing voice actors as it went through, just sort of introducing new characters, but just the names really, not any more information than that. So they hinted quite a few names of characters. So I think they're going to be releasing a lot more information on this over the coming months. They did announce a release date, well, a release month anyway. They said February of 2022 will be the month that it's released, so you can stick that in your diary. We don't know the exact day, but you know, hopefully some point that month, and you know, maybe your other half can buy it for you for Valentine's Day or something like that. That would be a nice present. But normally, you know, it might be towards the end of the month, who knows, but at least we've got that now, so we know when we can expect that. So another thing I want to talk about is the new mount that they announced. So obviously I think we expected that we would get some sort of new mount or some sort of mount system. Lots of people were assuming it would be an underwater mount, and one of the things that I was quite happy about with this this whole first look that they did, this live stream, is that it didn't seem as water centric as people first thought from the trailers, you know, with the splashing sounds and everything. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the underwater stuff. So to be honest, it's a plus for me, so I am glad that it doesn't seem to be doing too much of that. So the new mount is the Siege Turtle, which if you did play Guild Wars Factions was quite a big part of that. The PvP, they had Siege Turtles and stuff like that, so it is relevant to CANTHA, so it's something that they had before, so I think a lot of people will be looking forward to that. It's actually the first two-person mount that they've had in Guild Wars 2. They didn't give away all the details, but they said both people would have things to do, and if you can see the pictures of them, which I'll be showing up now, they've actually got guns on the back by the looks of it, so potentially the passenger will be able to control the guns. That's obviously just speculation, but I think that's pretty sure it'll be something like that. So obviously you'll be able to ride around and other people will be able to get on your mount, which I think other MMOs have done this, but it's the first time for Guild Wars 2, and I think it'd be pretty cool. And you can get on it, other people's mounts, even if you don't have a mount yourself and you haven't unlocked it. So it'll be a good way of getting around, like boosting your friends. Like for example, if you've got low level friends or friends that are new to the game, you can help them around on your Siege Turtle mount, and it looks really awesome as well, and I can't wait to see some of the really cool skins they bring out, to be fair. So they also spoke about fishing, which I'm not 100% sure if they're saying it's a new crafting profession. I don't think it's a crafting profession. I think it's more of a gathering thing, like mining and chopping wood and herbs and all that. So it's not actually a crafting profession, but they're making it so you can fish. Apparently this is something that they have been thinking about a lot. It's never really crossed my mind. And it's not something that I'm massively bothered about when hearing about it. But they seem to make quite a big thing of it, so it might be something that some people are interested in. They did say there was, you know, they're being quite ambitious with it. There's going to be over 200 types of fish apparently, which is pretty cool. And it won't just be in CANTHA, it will be all over Tyria, so it'll be something that you'll be able to use sort of your base game maps as well. Like water all over the place, you'll be able to, you know, sit down and fish. They said it can be like a co-op thing as well, so you can fish with other people. And you know, I don't know, I'm just not going to speak too much about it, but it does seem pretty cool. And with that, they've also brought out skiffs, which are like boats. So it's almost like a mount, like a water mount, because you can get skins for it as well and stuff like that they showed. So it's like a boat that you can ride around in, and you can fish from it. So I suppose if you want to fish like right in the middle of a lake or something like that, you can get on your skiff and you can float out to the middle, and you and your mates can do some fishing. So I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm not, you know, it's not something I'm massively bothered about, but it's something they seem to make a big deal about it. So, you know, it's obviously something they're quite excited about. So there's new legendary weapons. So there's going to be 16 new legendary weapons. They're going to be all available from launch day, which is pretty cool. They're not going to stagger it like they've done previously. And they're all inspired by Aurene. So like Aurene themed legendary weapons, which is pretty cool. Obviously, it's got that sort of like sparkly glass sort of look to it. They said the precursors would be inspired by sort of young Aurene, and then the actual proper legendaries inspired by the grown up like crystal dragon Aurene that we know now. So that's pretty cool. So for those who like to obviously build up a load of legendaries, I mean, we do have the legendary armory recently added to the game as well, not part of the expansion but just as an update, so that'll obviously be really cool as well to link in with that. So they spoke about strike missions as well. That's going to be more 10-man strike missions. Each one's going to have a challenge mode difficulty for hardcore raiders, they said. So that's going to be quite challenging apparently, and all of them are going to have that. So that's going to be pretty cool for those looking for some sort of more difficult multiplayer PvE content. That will be for you. So that's really cool. When they spoke about that, they also said about how they're going to change the way that enemies scale. What I mean by that is obviously when you get different ranks of enemies, like you get your normal enemies and you get your veterans and your champions and stuff like that, they're saying pretty much at the moment it's just like a bunch of health is what they get, you know what I mean? Like it just get harder and harder to kill in terms of there's more and more health, which is great and everything, but obviously they want a bit more variety than that. So they're actually going to start making it so different ranks of enemies have new abilities. So as that type of enemy ranks up, they'll unlock new types of abilities, which will offer like a new type of challenge to players. So another thing for people who like a bit more challenging content. So they won't just be like absolute like bullet sponges. They will actually have some different skills to them as well, which is pretty cool. They spoke about a new guild hall, the Isle of Reflection, which is it's in the old Xingzhe arena, which people who played once again Guild Wars 1 factions, you might get bored of me saying that, will be familiar with. It played a big part in the story, I think, towards the end as well. It's a significant site, but it's really nice. You can see from the pictures, it's like a beautiful setting. They're really happy about this. You could tell they really think this looks great, and it does, which is fantastic. And there's a lot of water there as well, so you can drive your skiff around the guild hall and do some fishing with your guild mates and stuff like that. That's why I think it might be quite cool. You can do that as like a social thing as well with members of your guild, so I'm looking forward to giving that a go as well. So one of the most significant things we're obviously all waiting for was for them to talk about elite specs. They left it a little while in the live stream towards the end, but they didn't disappoint. There was quite a lot of information on elite specs. So what they've done is, I know that you may have seen the picture before, which was like a hint, which looked like a mesmer, and people were saying it was a dagger, people were saying it was a spear, so trying to guess what the new weapon was. We've got all the details now, like more details than I thought on that as well, to be fair. So we've got the Virtuoso, which is the third elite spec for the mesmer. So it's a complete overhaul. The new weapon is the dagger, as a lot of people thought, so you can say that one. But the massive overhaul is that you will no longer have clones. You'll actually have blades instead. I know that sounds weird, but bear with me. So when you cast like a phantasm ability, that phantasm will still work as normal. So the phantasm will appear and do what it normally does for your skill. But then instead of turning into a clone, it will turn into a blade. And any clone abilities will instead create blades. And they build up above your weapon bar, just like the clones would. I think there's 5 slots for blades, and there's F1 to F4 abilities where you can utilize those blades. And then obviously you've got your new weapon skills for the dagger, as well as your new elite skills and your new elite skill and your utility and healing skills. They showed all of these off in the live stream, and what I'll be doing is I'll be doing a separate video where I'll go through everything we currently know about the Virtuoso, so I don't want to go through everything now, but it did look really cool. They actually said that they are planning on breaking a lot of their own rules with the words they used with regards to the elite specs in this, so we'll see where that goes. Obviously I suppose they're changing things a lot. I mean, I'm partial to a elite spec that sort of overhauls the class a bit. I think it makes it seem a bit more worthwhile, almost like a new profession, without having to level up a new profession or anything. You can sort of just change your current one quite a lot. So I am a fan of those, and this really does change the Mesmer a lot. And you know, as I generally play Mesmer as my main, I'm quite excited about it. I normally play as a Chronomancer at the moment, but I'll definitely be giving this a go. And I'm really looking forward to it, so can't wait to give that a go. And you will not have to wait too long to give it a go, because they announced they did say they were going to do this, but they've announced a bit more detail on this. The Elite Specialization betas. So there's going to be 4 different betas. The first 3 will each feature 3 of the Elite specs. I think they say they're sort of going to announce these as they go along, so we're going to be hearing a lot about the Elite specs one by one. I think they'll be doing them before the events, the beta events, and then you'll be able to play them in that. So they've said that the first beta event is actually going to be the week 17th of August to the 21st of August. So that will be the first one we can do. That's going to feature the Virtuoso, which is the Mesmer Elite spec, as well as 2 other Elite specializations yet to be announced. Then there will be a further beta event, which will have the next 3 Elite specs, 1 more which will have 3 more, the last 3 Elite specs as it were, so you've tried all 9 by then, and the 4th beta event will feature all 9 of the Elite specs for you to try all at once. So there's a lot of content to look forward to, so we're plenty of time to get used to them and try them out before launch, which is awesome. They have said that the beta events will be open to those, even those that have free accounts. So pretty much anyone who has an account for Guild Wars 2, even a free one, will be able to take part in these betas. So that'll be really awesome as well. They've given us a little hint at the next Elite spec they're going to be announcing. It was just another little concept art, just like they did for the Virtuoso originally. I'll show you on the screen now. I mean, it's pretty obvious, this one, I believe, that it is a Necromancer Elite spec and that the weapon is a pistol. I mean, obviously give us your take as well, but I think that's pretty obvious from the picture. So I'm looking forward to that. You know, I play a Necromancer as well as one of my main characters, so I'm really looking forward to trying that out. So I assume that will be the second one available in the first beta, and then in the next week or so we'll probably find out the third one ready for the beta event on the 17th. So one thing I forgot to mention is that they did say there's going to be 5 new mastery tracks for CANTHA, which you'd probably expect. One of them will be fishing, one of them will be skiffs, one will be the siege turtle mount, and there's 2 further mastery tracks that will be announced later on, so you can speculate on that. So the new expansion, End of Dragons, is actually available to pre-purchase now. Came out a couple of hours after the live stream, so you can order that now. You've got the standard edition, the deluxe edition, and the ultimate edition. So the standard edition comes with the game, comes with an extra shared inventory slot, and also comes with a max level boost, so you can pre-purchase that right now and get those benefits. And then you have the deluxe edition, which is all of those that I just listed, along with an additional character slot, the Xingzhe Dragon Boat Skiff skin, the Canthan Raptor skin, and an identity repair kit. And then the ultimate edition is all of the ones we just listed, plus 4,000 gems, which they say is the best value for money. So if you know, might be worth getting that one if you're really keen, because obviously that will allow you to purchase some of the cool new stuff they're going to be bringing out on the gem store to go with the launch as well, no doubt. So I think that covers just about all of the main things they spoke about in the live stream. There's going to be loads more content coming. They said they're going to be releasing information on a regular basis, obviously regarding the Elite specs, as well as new things about the story and the new features and things like that. I think so far I'm really positive. I think it sounds really good. Obviously I'm really looking forward to learning about all the new Elite specs. I mean, mainly I think the thing I'm most excited for is just to travel around CANTHA. I think it looks fantastic so far, and it's going to be great. You know, we've got a couple of new features for the game coming, not part of the expansion, but just new things coming along with it, or just before. We've got alliances. So I know that people like PvP players might be a little bit disappointed with that live stream because it didn't really mention PvP much at all. But you do have the alliances coming to World v World I believe it's on a similar time scale to the expansion, I believe, maybe slightly before, but that's going to be pretty awesome, and I think they're going to be testing that first, so there may be some betas or tests on that as well. I think it's a public test event, they said that might be possible. So alliances, which is something that people in World PvP have been calling out for a long time, so hopefully that will improve that. And then the other thing we've got, which I'm quite excited about, is the upgrade in the performance of the game that they're working on. So the first thing they're going to do is upgrade from DirectX 9, which is pretty outdated, it's what the game runs on currently, to DirectX 11, which in itself isn't going to, you know, suddenly make the game run and look amazing, but it does give the development team a lot of room to maneuver and to make the game look and run even better. So that should be something that people should be quite excited about as well. They're going for longevity, and they reiterate again that this is not the end. It's the end of Dragons, but it's not the end of Guild Wars 2, and they do have more stuff in the pipeline, which they, believe it or not, aren't going to tell us about yet, but I'm okay with that for the time being. Okay, that's great. So thanks for watching, guys. I will be back soon with some more content regarding the live stream, as well as some of my other stuff, keeping up with the guides that I'm doing. I'll be definitely doing a video on the Virtuoso though, and also any other Elite Specs they announce, because I do get really excited about that. So like and subscribe to be kept up to date. Don't forget, if you want to pre-purchase the game, click the link in the description of this video to take you to the store page where you can pre-purchase it, and it also supports the channel. So I will speak to you guys soon. Thank you.